A weather delay has moved our normal 8 o'clock start to a little bit after 8:45 in this huge Group E division matchup tonight between St. Louis FC and Sporting KC2 from West Community Stadium in Fenton, Missouri. Tonight's matchup is brought to you by the Cheshire Inn and LHM Hotel. Alongside Jose Rodriguez, I'm Josh Appel. And Jose, we get a look at these Group E standings. Indy 11 in firm control of this group, but St. Louis FC, Sporting KC2, and Lou City FC all vying for that number 2 spot in the division.
Absolutely, Josh. With Indy 11 as one of the top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference, it looks like it's going to be a 3-team battle for second place. Tonight, we're going to concentrate in St. Louis and Sporting Kansas City 2, of course, but let's remember that Lou City is looming in 4th place with 7 points.
These two teams matched up 10 days ago in this very stadium in Fenton, and it was Sporting KC2 who broke through first on the road.
Yeah, it was an interesting match. You know, good movement early on from Sporting Kansas City 2. And it was actually early in the second half where Sporting Kansas City was able to score that goal. But hey, things happen in the 96th minute. This is what went on in the match.
Yeah, things happened is right. Kavita, the captain, on the very last play of the game on that corner, after a couple of deflections, including by the goalkeeper who was playing up, it was Kavita, the captain, who buried this and tied the game at 1 and earned the point for St. Louis FC. And coincidentally, that's the only point over the last 3 matches for St. Louis FC. They'll need to get back on track tonight as they look to keep control of that second spot in the division.
Yeah, you mentioned it. I mean, just 1 point out of the last 3 matches. That is not something that you want to see from St. Louis. And tonight is another big opportunity for both teams to earn 3 points and start to dominate a little bit that second position in the group.
St. Louis FC needs a win or a draw to maintain that playoff spot, second place in Group E. Sporting KC2 looking to finish one off after they let it go last Wednesday. Lineups and kick coming up next.
This year we developed Ale d'Or, which is a beer brewed exclusively for the St. Louis Football Club. We've been partners with STLC for coming up on 3 years now. St. Louis Football Club got some Schlafly, call out our Luligan friends on the side. You'll be able to find Ale d'Or obviously out at Soccer Park and then at your local grocery in and around St. Louis, so we're really excited to get it out there in the market. We're excited to debut it in 16-ounce cans for the upcoming season.
When you need quality electrical work for your home or business, look to theelectricalconnection.org. Created as a partnership between IBEW Local 1 electricians and the St. Louis chapter of the National Electrical Contractors Association, the Electrical Connection has been setting the standard for electrical excellence in St. Louis for over 100 years. You can depend on our highly skilled and trained workforce, your #1 source for quality electrical and communication contractors, electricalconnection.org.
Welcome back to Fenton, Missouri. West Community Stadium. Battle for second place in Group E between St. Louis FC and Sporting KC2. Tonight's match is brought to you by the Cheshire Inn and LHM Hotel. Josh Appel, Jose Rodriguez with you, and it's time for our starting lineups brought to you by Schlafly. We first get a look at Sporting KC2 for head coach Paulo Nagamura, and Jose, a bit different of a look here for Sporting KC2, including a debut for a 17-year-old between the pipes. It's Gavin Krenecki getting the start in goal.
Absolutely. It's a 4-3-3 formation tonight. And, you know, we have seen a couple of changes so far from the last time both of these teams face each other. Of course, we see LeFleur and Kuich as two of the guys coming into the lineup, and as well, Wilson Harris up top, a key player for them. And let's take a look as well at what St. Louis is presenting tonight. Another 4-3-3 formation. Plenty of experience in the center back position with Kavita and Fink. And up top, there's no Blackwood tonight in the starting lineup, but there's Kyle Gregg, a guy that we know pretty much from his career in the USL Championship. Successful so far to start the season. We need a little bit of more goals, a little bit of more action for this team offensively. That's exactly what Steve Trichu is looking for from his team tonight.
Winless in the last 3 for Steve Trichu's St. Louis FC. And they'll hope to get back on the winning track tonight at home. They have a lot of home matches this year, and especially over this stretch. As we get a look at the Group E standings one more time, St. Louis hanging on to that number 2 spot. But Lou City and Sporting KC2 right there putting pressure from behind. And, of course, Sporting KC2 with a win tonight, they pull even.
Yeah, and the interesting part is that defensively they're pretty close, all of them, because they all have allowed, the 4 teams, they have allowed 7 goals in the regular season. But scoring has been a problem for St. Louis.
Tonight's player to watch is brought to you by Electrical Connection. And you mentioned scoring. Look no further than Kyle Gregg. Usually it's him and Blackwood up front, but tonight Blackwood not in the starting 11. It's Kyle Gregg, one of the most prolific scorers in USL Championship history. He's going to be relied upon a lot tonight, as well as the midfielders to create for him.
Absolutely.
But it's Kyle Gregg who's going to have to finish, something that St. Louis FC has had trouble with.
Yeah, and it's interesting with Kyle because he joined the team in 2018. And that year, he led the team in goals. So, it's a guy that he can score goals in this league. We have seen it before. So, hopefully for St. Louis, this is a night that, can turn things around for him this year.
We are just about ready to get underway. Huge, massive fixture here in Group E. And we're underway as Sporting KC 2 controls. Unbeaten in the last 3, Sporting KC. After an 0-3 start, they had their Thursday game that was supposed to take place earlier this week postponed to August 19th due to a positive COVID test, but they are making that game up next week. Wilson Harris tried to walk it through the defense. It's played well, and now we get a whistle and a foul early on. Sporting KC hasn't played since that 1-1 draw in this stadium 10 days ago, so they're well rested. And a much-needed week off for St. Louis FC as well. They had played 3 matches in 8 days, including last Saturday's. That's when that stretch ended. Cicerone was to be offside. Anyways, it rolled on to the keeper, Gavin Krenecki. The 17-year-old just signed this week from Fair Oaks, California, a commit to the University of Louisville, member of the Sporting KC Academy. 17 years old, one of a good number of teenagers on this roster for Sporting KC too.
Yeah, it's part of a process. It's a big opportunity for him tonight, and it's going to be interesting, especially facing a team with plenty of experience like St. Louis.
Here's a chance early, and it's sent high. That was more Sam who's getting the start tonight. It's his first of the year. Take another look.
Yeah, it's a bad giveaway, and then it's more Sam coming with a left-footed shot. Those are the opportunities early on that you want to take advantage of if you're St. Louis. You don't want to give Sporting Kansas City a second opportunity, right? So be a little bit more aggressive.
Todd Wharton will take the corner, and he slipped. Or was that on purpose? Either way, he slipped. Here's a ball low that was knocked away, and Sam has to go chase it down. Flicked up into the air. Battle for it. St. Louis FC has it. Here's Cicerone off the crossbar. And this has just been the story of the last few games for St. Louis FC. The chances are there. Well, there you see Todd Wharton slipping there. And then the shot off the crossbar by Cicerone. This is exactly what Steve Trichu talked about, just not being able to finish.
Yes, it's interesting, right? Because you would think, players are gonna have the right mentality, and I think they do have the right mentality. It's just a matter of putting the ball in the back of the net.
And Steve Trichu has said after the last few games, I feel like we deserved a bit better than the results that we got. Here's Paris G playing on the wing. You'll see him jump up a lot in the offensive attack tonight. Wall Fall, who had some knee-to-knee contact in the game against FC Tulsa on Saturday, was able to play through it, but he is obviously back healthy tonight. Still no Toby Adewale on the back line for St. Louis FC. He was fine out of the Memphis game. Woke up with a tight hamstring. Missed the last game against FC Tulsa. They thought he'd be able to give it a go, but he's being held out again tonight. Should be good to go, they hope, by the Pittsburgh game. Here's Kavita, who scored the goal 10 days ago against Sporting KC in the 96th minute. Our 8 o'clock kick was delayed over 45 minutes due to lightning in the area, but as you can see, we are underway in a huge Group E matchup. St. Louis FC on top of Sporting KC by 3 points. Remember, in this shortened USL Championship season, the top 2 teams in each group advance to the playoffs. G trying to work around Riley. For Fall, now Cicerone, who sent it off the crossbar moments ago.
Oh,
Banks
yes.
one in, there's a strike, and there's the all-important first goal at home for St. Louis FC. Cicerone, his 3rd.
Beautiful, beautiful shot from Cicerone. You know, the confidence that we haven't seen throughout the regular season, because there haven't been really much to cheer about in the past few games, but we see it on that shot, so that means the work throughout the week has been good in training sessions. And the confidence, look at the move. Takes a chance and puts the ball in the back of the net. A wonderful shot from Cicerone.
Hey, 17-year-old Gavin Krenecki, welcome to USL Championship. Not much he could do there, but you know, this is exactly what Steve Tritchew said. He said, quote, starting strong is key. I'd love to see us get that first goal. If we could go up, I really think it'd help our guys relax a little. And right now, they get that all-important first goal in the first few minutes.
Yeah, well, you know, I think this is the perfect start. You know, they have been struggling scoring goals in the season, and, you know, to get that opportunity. And let's mention that this is not the first chance in the match, and we're only a few minutes into it.
As we said right before Cicerone scored, he set one off the crossbar moments earlier.
Absolutely, absolutely. So a wonderful start for St. Louis.
This is Davis, another teenager. Long ball to the right side. Resitar catches up to it. Bends one in. Dangerous area, and Wharton able to get it away.
Oh, and here's the interesting part now. The game opens up immediately. Good ball.
Here's Cicerone making a run one more time. You mentioned it, a great ball. And a diving stop made by Krenecki, keeping this at a 1-0 score.
Oh, what a start. Back and forth.
This was like a different St. Louis FC team. One that looks a bit more rested.
Yeah. Listen, if we're going to get this level of play after a weather delay, let's do it every night.
Exactly. Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, you were on the call for the long delay with FC Tulsa and
Yes.
RGV a couple of weeks ago. Let's not have that. But
Yeah. 30 minutes, a 35-minute delay, it's fine. I mean,
Fall looking for Paris G out of his realm of area. Now Kavita just here's that Cicerone opportunity. I don't think he got as much on that as he wanted to, but it was a great ball to give him that chance in the first place.
yeah, I think it was a good ball, but he wasn't able to control it the way he wanted to. He didn't put himself in a position to score, and instead help out the defender to come and you know, just recover the ball as quickly as they could. And, you know, that's what they needed at that point.
Just underway, an early goal from Cicerone. His 3rd of the year. Tied for the team lead now with Tyler Blackwood. Oscar Umar. Now Fink. Stretching one out long down the far side, and more Sam. Couldn't do anything with it. Bit too far for him.
Yeah, it's good to point out, Josh, that Wolfall completed the assist on that goal. And Wolfall is a player good defensively for you. You need him defensively, but as well, when he moves forward, he's usually very effective. So look out for Wolfall in the rest of the match.
Don't miss a minute of the action in 2020. Sign up today and get alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for your club and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on your club's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. You know, I know we're not at the halfway point yet in this season, Jose, but it's matches like this that you'll look back on at the end of the year and say, all right, this is one of those that decided the outcome in the standings here in Group E.
Yeah, well, you know, this is a match that usually the definition that, you know, people like to mention when you have two teams facing each other that are competing for second place in this case is this is a 6-point match, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, it gives St. Louis the opportunity to get to 13 points, opening up a 6-point gap in between. You know, that's the beauty of the group stage, and that's why I love the format this year, even though we're going through a pandemic and, you know, everything that's going on. You have to look into this like at something positive for the league.
Look at Riley sending one in the header, just a bit too tall. Resitar couldn't get a good amount of the upstairs on that. Not sure I phrased that well, but you know what I was getting at.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a good ball from Riley coming on the right side.
A little bit too tall.
Yeah, just a little bit too tall. And, you know, it's interesting because they had the numbers there. And, you know, that tells you a little bit about Sporting Kansas City too, and the attitude that they have after they had conceded a goal. They're going for it. You know, it's interesting because a young team usually, you know, lays back a little bit, you know, leaves St. Louis to gain some possession and look for counterattack opportunities. That's not what we're seeing from Sporting Kansas City too.
And don't forget, this is a club that has had massive success in USL Championship over the years. This, of course, their first season branded as Sporting KC too. Only one home match this year as well for Sporting KC. All 4 matchups against St. Louis FC are going to be here in Fenton. And you know, you look at the one home match that's coming up later this month, and it's not a group opponent. It's an out-of-group opponent in USL Championship. So even then, they don't have the advantage. They're playing all of their group matches on the road this year. That's a huge challenge.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and you're right. It is a challenge for a young team. And I think Paulo Nagamura is, you know, it's a tough challenge as a coach as well. You know, to keep the right mentality from your players, and just to understand that you're only going to have to play one game at home, but yet you're still in the playoff hunt and you're still fighting for that spot.
A lot of people would argue this is probably one of the tougher groups, given that Lou City is sitting there in 4th, tied with Sporting KC too. But, you know, we talk about the success, you know, previously that Sporting KC has had. Lou City as well has been one of the premier clubs in this league.
Yeah, I mean, if we talk about Lou City, it's basically a team that you're used to. You see them succeed in the playoffs, and you usually see them in the final fighting for the title. This year, a little bit different so far, but we'll see. There's still plenty of room to go.
Long ball to the far side. Cicerone has the opening goal here tonight. Came in the first few minutes. Exactly the start that St. Louis FC wanted. After no wins in the previous 3 matches. Here's Sam. There's Steve Trichu. Frustration not quite setting in yet for the veteran coach, but he has preached to his team the importance of all of these matches, and it can feel like they're that close to a breakthrough, and I'm sure he hopes that Cicerone goal here in the early going kind of jump-starts that.
Yeah, well, I think that's the idea, and you know, for Steve, it's also a challenging year, first year with the club, and you know, you have to adjust as well, right? In your first year and this type of year that you're working in. So, you know, so far I think he has done a pretty good job.
KC trying to get something going. Recitar leaves it back. Rod. Through ball ahead of everybody. Let's take a look at tonight's defensive keys to the game, brought to you by Electrical Connection.
Well, you know, for St. Louis, just be patient. Don't be overly aggressive, especially defensively. Now that you have the lead, you know, you don't have to go all for it tonight, especially in the first half. You know, take your time, move the ball around, and dominate possession. And if you're sporting Kansas City too, we already talked about it a little bit, Road Warriors. There's no excuses. I mean, you cannot think, okay, I'm going to drop 1 point tonight because I'm going to go home and I'm going to get the win. That's not going to happen. You only have one game, so go for it every single night. Take risks, and in the end, go home happy that you left it all out there.
Harris fires on, and a save made by Morton. Oh, bad giveaway by St. Louis FC, and Harris almost turned it into the equalizer.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a bad giveaway. That's something that you want to have to stay away if you're St. Louis. Still good pressure from Fall in the end.
Wilson Harris, 20 years old, leads the team with a couple of goals this year. And that loss on Saturday to FC Tulsa was St. Louis FC's first at home this year in 4 matches. It's almost like the opposite, that St. Louis FC is playing the majority of their games at home this year. Obviously, the bar is set low in that regard when you compare it to a club like Sporting KC2, given that all their games are on the road except for one. But St. Louis has had plenty of opportunities to kind of give themselves some breathing room with all these home matches, but they haven't been able to take advantage.
Yeah, I'll let you take this one.
Here's an opportunity brewing for Sporting KC2 that evaporates quickly.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because that game against Tulsa, I think they had a good showing. They created chances, but they just were not able to capitalize. And that was the problem for them.
You take a look at how St. Louis FC has played over the last 5. I mean, those are 2 strong wins against Lou City and Indy 11. And then you see now winless in the last 3 since then.
Yeah, you want to turn things around, and I think this is the perfect game to do so. And you know, it's also about how you manage the up and downs throughout the season. And you didn't have a good result against Tulsa. So this game is an opportunity for them.
And while this, obviously every game is of heightened importance, it's not like they lost ground against FC Tulsa because it's not a group opponent.
Right.
So yeah, you'd obviously like to get those 3 points, but you don't necessarily lose ground to the people to the other clubs that are in your division or in your group.
Yeah, I think that is the good part, the good way to look at it if you're St. Louis, to limit the damage. So, you know, and tonight it's a completely different scenario because the mistakes that you commit tonight, if you end up losing points tonight, then that's something that can really help Sporting Kansas City 2 moving forward.
Richard Bryan to throw it in. Steve Trichu, veteran coach in USL Championship. Sam goes down. That's a foul on Sporting KC2, and a quick restart for St. Louis FC. Up 1-0 on the Cicerone goal in the early going. 17th minute here from Fenton, Missouri, West Community Stadium. Josh Appel, Jose Rodriguez with you. Thanks so much for being with us. Huge matchup in Group E. Sporting KC with a win, pulls even for second place. St. Louis FC can give themselves either the same amount of breathing room with a draw tonight, or can open up a 6-point advantage if they come away with the win here at home. And they got that all-important first goal. Let's see what they do with it. Kavita, the captain who scored the goal in the 96th minute last Wednesday. Fall, who played last season with Ottawa Fury. His first year with St. Louis FC. Excuse me, his second stint, I should say. Cicerone, another chance. Cicerone sent it wide. And he's had golden chances. He could have a hat trick already in the first 20 minutes of this game.
You're absolutely right. You know, another good effort, but the level of anticipation and display is what makes it brilliant for Cicerone. You know, he's in the game. You know, he's looking for the next play. And this is the left-footed shot that, you know, he's want to have it back. When he sees the replay tonight, he's going to want to have that one back. But either way, a good effort from Cicerone. And, you know, I think he's the guy tonight for St. Louis.
You know, I think that it's clear he's going to have the opportunities around. You keep giving him those, he's going to capitalize more often than not.
Absolutely. You want to limit the mistakes, or especially when you're around him, because he seems to be, you know, in a very special night. So, you know, that's usually a good sign for St. Louis. But as well, remember, this is a two-part game. You're very good. You can be very good offensively, but defensively, you still have to stay in the match, even when you're in control.
Kavita in the middle for Fall, who plays it back. Fink. Trying to spring Sam, but he took a spill. And then a foul on St. Louis FC. Looked like on Sam Fink for a push. St. Louis FC is in the midst of a 5 out of 6 at home stretch. Yet in their last 3, they've only come away with 1 point of a possible 9. That's just not going to get the job done. Whistle here, Sam against LaFleur. Hold in your dodgeball references.
Well, good control to start. Well, then, you know, a little bit of contact there. I don't think that was enough, but in the end, I think it's a good call. I don't know if you'll see it. If that happens inside the box, I think the referee is going to try to stay away from that one. But
Riley. Duke in the middle, he's the captain. On the far side. The cross, no blue shirts in the area, but stepped up. Could this be a chance? And then dispossessed. Wall Fall did a nice job on Camden Riley in the box.
Yeah, a little bit of an unusual mistake from Wall Fall. He's usually very good with the ball, especially in the middle of the field, but this time he's unable to clear the ball away, and it's an opportunity for Riley. So, you know, I think, you know, Josh, for Sporting Kansas City too, right now, it's about getting organized. They are depending a lot on the mistakes from St. Louis, and I think they can do better than that.
Wharton battling. Still with it. Now he's double teamed. He goes down. Looking for a foul. It's just a corner. Wharton is beside himself. What did you think?
It's close. I think that's a 50-50. I like to see the replay. Of course, I do have that benefit. The referee is far away from a replay. Let's see. Nah, not enough. Not enough.
You'd like to usually err on the side of caution there if you're going to award a penalty, of course.
Yes. Good call.
So now here's Sam to take the corner. Headed away nicely by Sporting KC2. And then G tees it up but sends it way off target. Other Group E scores from around USL Championship. Indy 11, another 3 points tonight, a 1-0 victory over Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Lou City is up 1-0 at halftime against Loudoun United. So when you look at that Lou City score, that becomes even more important. So if they win, regardless of what happens tonight, they pull into a tie for second.
Yes.
We could have a 3-way tie for second by the end of the night.
Well, we told everybody this is the group to watch, right?
Absolutely.
And I think, you know, things are shaping up that way.
Cicerone forces some more trouble there, but it's cleared away. Did last night's cleaning crew drop the ball? Call the pros at Janny King for a free cleaning quote and get the winning service you deserve. 24th minute, Russell Cicerone. The lone goal came in the first few minutes here in this first half. G, the Canadian. Now Cicerone pressured by Riley, and Riley took him down. That's a foul. Riley's been all over the place in his second season with Sporting KC. Was drafted by Sporting KC in the MLS Super Draft in 2019, but did not sign. Scored one goal with Sporting 2 last year, out of the reach of Cicerone there. And a goal kick coming for the 17-year-old Gavin Krenecki, who hasn't been tested all that much as of late. But early on, he certainly got a warm welcome.
Well, yeah, you know, he had no chance on the goal. It was a wonderful shot from Cicerone. But, you know, it's going to be interesting as we move forward in the match, because it feels like, you know, Sporting Kansas City is going to be aggressive throughout the match, regardless of the score. They have that mentality. So that's going to leave opportunities in the counterattack for St. Louis. And that's where Krenecki is going to have to learn a little bit within the game how to manage the box, how to, you know, talk to his defenders. And he's still young, so, you know, usually for a goalkeeper, when you're that young and you get the opportunity, you have no room for mistakes. You have to go for it, you have to be aggressive, and you have to understand your position pretty much.
Are you surprised that, you know, given that Krenecki is making his first start for Sporting KC2, that you know, two guys with a little more experience? We'll put a pause on that for a moment. Sporting KC works in the middle. Jake Davis for Riley. Now Kuich plays it back. What I was going to say was, you know, Dylan Cerna, Sam Rabin, both not in the starting 11. You would think that, you know, having a guy like Cerna at the very least there, who has a lot of experience playing in front of a young goalkeeper like Krenecki, maybe that'd be an advantage. Are you surprised to not see a guy like Cerna in the lineup?
Well, yeah, that is an interesting point. Although I think, you know, trying to get through the thought process from Nagamura, you know, it looks like they might have played together in the academy, and that's maybe why he has the confidence to put young guys in the back.
Familiarity there,
yeah.
Of course. It's a great point. Riley. Resitar with a nifty move. Couldn't keep it in, though. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Krenecki retreats to grab it. Couple of deflections. Wall stepped up, but it was gotten to first by Sporting 2. Here they come on the counter. Resitar. Could this be a chance at the equalizer? Still onside? No, it's not. Flag was up. Harris just offside.
Oh, that's tight. But a good build-up from Sporting Kansas City too. Here's a better look. It's a good ball from Resitar.
Really close.
And yeah, it looks to me like it's a really close call.
So we remain 1-0 in the 28th minute. Cicerone his third in the early going. That's how St. Louis FC got on the board.
But it's a good sign regardless for Sporting Kansas City too.
Seems like there's some space there to develop, as there was almost another chance for Cicerone. Kuich. Van Premier, first time we've called his name tonight. 23-year-old, first season with Sporting KC2, was with FC Tulsa last year.
You know, it's so impressive when you see a team like Sporting Kansas City 2 coming to the match, facing an experienced side like St. Louis, and how ready they are to compete at this level. It's really, really good to see. And, you know, not only for Sporting Kansas City 2 and their program, but for the league as a whole.
Absolutely. Montpremier tried to get it over to Harris, stepped in front of by Umar. Here comes Cicerone. Makes a move around Riley. Nice job, though, by Jake Davis, another one of those teenagers, 18 years old. Made 5 appearances last year. Morton scoops that up. Kyle Morton near the top of the league in saves this year. Did not start 10 days ago against Sporting KC2. It was John Berner who played that night in the 1-1 draw. Giveaway here, Sporting KC. Almost like he didn't have it. That's a nice job defensively by Sam Fink.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, there are still part of the game in which, you know, experience tells you where to move, how to do things, and you know, just to predict a little bit and to anticipate in that play, it's more about experience, and that's exactly what Fink did. Harris had the speed, had the intensity, but the experience this time wins the battle.
Kuich. Rad, whose twin brother plays as well for Sporting KC2, and I think there was some miscommunication there because Recitar didn't have a teammate there where he slid it to, and that's a perfect time for our first hydration break here in the first half at the 31st minute. 1-0 St. Louis over Sporting KC on the Russell Cicerone goal. As we take a look at the Group E standings again, this is such a pivotal matchup, and we mentioned that Lou City is up 1-0 at halftime. If Sporting KC comes back and wins this one, we'll have a 3-way tie for second place. So the pressure really now is on St. Louis FC to keep that number 2 spot.
Absolutely, and you mentioned already Indy 11 getting 3 points tonight, so they're all the way up to 19 points. So, you know, you're, like we mentioned before, 3 teams fighting for the second place.
Here's how we got to this 1-0 score. Cicerone with the bender.
Yeah, it's a good turn as well from Cicerone. And then, you know, he was decisive. It was decisive. That's the key word.
And that was right after he had hit the crossbar, too.
Right.
So he's had his chances. And then, you know, moments after he actually scored, he had another golden opportunity that he sent just wide. Cicerone has been the best player on the pitch tonight, obviously, so far at least, for St. Louis FC.
And, you know, it's interesting with Cicerone because, you know, it's easy to see him as a winger, but sometimes you see little things that make you think a little bit about him playing as a 9 inside the box, and with Blackwood and with Greg, you know, without a doubt, St. Louis, they have the players to be good offensively. So, you know, maybe this is a game that is going to turn things around for them.
You look at their roster on paper, and it's one that jumps out at you is one that has a lot of depth.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys who can score when healthy.
Yeah, well, you know, it's good to, it's a good start, let's say that, but, you know, there's still a long way to go.
No question.
So we're going to have to wait and see how consistent they can be in this level of play.
I know it's early, and I mentioned earlier we're not even at the halfway point this year, but how do you see this group playing out? It's obvious that Indy 11 is going to be the first place team unless they have some sort of collapse here. But in this 3-way battle for second, we'll get to it in a moment, Cicerone slides it across. This is Sam. Sam tried to get through, and it's clear. It's almost cleared away. Deflected off a Sporting KC player as well. Sam almost created another opportunity for St. Louis FC on the doorstep. But how do you see this group playing out?
Well, you know, it's interesting because, of course, Indy, you know, at this point they're playing at another level. but let's see the cross here. Okay, I'm safe. So it's hard for me to see Louisville not giving a fight at least, you know. So it's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell because I really like what I see from Sporting Kansas City too. But it worries me that they have no games at home. You know, that's something that at some point I think it's gonna play a factor. So I think it's gonna come down to St. Louis and Louisville in the end of fighting for second place in the group.
Don't worry, I won't put you on the spot and tell you to pick one. But pick one.
No, it is really a tough call. It really is. Because remember that Louisville, they're playing most of their matches at home as well.
Right.
You know, so they do have that advantage.
Greg battling, and so he gets whistled for it.
Yeah, they haven't been able to capitalize on that advantage early on. So I guess talk to me in 2 weeks, and I'll let you know.
All right, putting on my calendar. Premier lost it to Bryan, who then gives it away to Kuic, the Croatian. He's one of 2 Croatians on the Sporting KC2 roster. So play into the 35th minute of the first half. Josh Appel, Jose Rodriguez with you. Pivotal Group E matchup. Sporting KC trying to pull even for second place with a win tonight, but they find themselves down 1-0 thanks to Russell Cicerone's goal for St. Louis FC is in the early going. Earn, save, spend, and learn with Greenlight, the debit card to kids that parents manage by app. Sign up today at greenlightcard.com and get 1 month free. Paris G showing off the speed and open space. G towards the middle. Riley trying to keep up. It's G at the edge of the 18 who gets pulled down. That's a foul. And a card coming as well.
It's going to be for Riley. But what an effort from Paris G. You know, talk about having the intensity to move forward, and things have started opening up for him. In the end, he's able to get the free kick. It's a good call from the referee.
Yeah, it seems obvious with the pull down here.
Yeah. And it's good that the referee as well gave him the advantage to move forward and maybe take the shot. It was not the case, but you know, he had that opportunity. But a good effort from Paris G.
G, the Canadian, 26 years old, played really well so far this year for St. Louis FC. I mentioned Peter Kuic, but Paris G also started his pro career in Croatia. So Wallfall stands over it along with Brian and Sam. Now Sam backs away, and it'll be Fall or Brian. It's Brian to take it. On goal, nowhere close.
Yep. Well, not a good effort from Brian this time. It was a good opportunity for St. Louis, but it goes over the bar.
In the 36th minute.
Here's another look. Takes his time. It's interesting how every player has a style now, right? It used to be like free kicks. Every single player took them the same way. Now, you know, I guess the Cristiano Ronaldo effect and how they position themselves in a way to hit the ball differently. This way it doesn't work for Brian.
G and Cicerone play catch. Umar wearing that Richard Hamilton face mask. Suffered a face fracture earlier in the season. Umar battling with Duke, slides it through to Cicerone. Now Wharton. To the far side. Sam. Montprenier near him. And now Wallfall, delivered in the middle for Cicerone. For Umar, stretches to the far side. Bryan, he'll send the cross in, back post, it's over the goal. A goal kick coming for the 17-year-old Gavin Kronecki.
Yeah, it's not a good cross, but in the end, I think that's what St. Louis needs a little bit towards the end of the first half. Move the ball around, take your time, look for, open up some passing lanes. You know, it's important for them to dominate possession and to force a little bit Sporting Kansas City to move out of the back and create some chances.
I feel like, you know, Paris G is the perfect player for Steve Trichu's system. A guy who plays in the back, but with his speed is able to jump up in the play and create chances like we saw a few moments ago.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit of the element of surprise, right? Coming all the way from the back.
Duke goes down. Umar was on top of him. And Christian Duke wants to get it going fast. He just plays it back. Barbier. Davis played it back. Rad. Resatar. Fall closes in. Riley. Slow cross.
Beautiful.
Oh, gorgeous. The equalizer. Riley to the captain Duke. And in the 40th minute, we are squared at one.
Oh, what an effort. A team effort. Collectively, a perfect play for Sporting Kansas City 2. They were able to open up space on the right. Give a lot of credit to Resatar, just being able to hold onto the ball, open up to Riley, and then the ball right to the penalty spot where Duke hits it in a left-footed shot for the 1-1. You know, give a lot of credit as well to Paulo Nagamura. This is a play that you work within the week. It's not part, you know, of just something that happens out of the blue. This is work from within the week.
First of the year for Christian Duke. Sporting KC2's inaugural captain in 2016. Spent 2 years away with Orange County in 2018 and 2019 before returning this year. And he gets his first, and it's a huge one, an equalizer in the later stages of the first half.
It's just quality. You know, we were talking about it, how impressive they have been, especially Riley on the right side. He was being good defensively, but as well moving forward.
Riley has had that chance at a cross a few times.
Yeah.
Almost that identical play, and this time right on target for Duke.
And it's an interesting matchup because we were just talking about Paris G, who's playing as well on that side of the field. So it's going to be a back and forth between them.
Riley was listed on the starting 11 tonight as a defender, but you know, clearly from what we've seen, he's kind of been all over the place.
Yes, I think that he's a player that you can move around, and as a coach, you can be comfortable moving him around because of the quality and how good he is with the ball.
Lou City FC has just taken a 2-0 lead in the 64th minute over Loudoun United. As we mentioned earlier, Indy 11 already victorious tonight. Ball cleared out of the box here by Sporting KC2. So it looks like Lou City is on its way to 3 points tonight. So if St. Louis FC is unable to grab a point tonight, at least, we could have a three-way tie, or we will have ourselves a three-way tie for second place in Group E.
Yeah, if that happens, we will. But for now, this is a result that Louisville is liking a lot.
Absolutely. Bryan for Sam. Kavita, the captain. It's interesting in the last, first two matchups between these two teams this year, 10 days ago and tonight, it's been the captain for each side that has scored the equalizer.
Oh, that's interesting.
Brian, low cross. Oh, nice job by Krenecki.
Yeah, good effort from St. Louis. This time coming on from the right side. Plenty of room.
And Cicerone and Greg there. If that gets past Krenecki, that's a 2-1 lead for St. Louis.
No doubt. And an easy finish as well. But a good effort from Brian on the right side.
Don't tell that to Raheem Sterling.
Oh, yeah. That was crazy.
It was nearly identical to where the
Yes.
Cicerone and Greg were waiting.
Yep, yep.
We apologize to any Man City supporters who are watching tonight's broadcast. I know it's a sore subject. '44th minute, tied at 1. Cicerone in the early going, Duke in the late stages. So we are here at 1-1.
Yeah, it was a good start for St. Louis. First 10 to 15 minutes, it was all St. Louis. But right after that, you know, the mentality from Sporting Kansas City 2 showed a little bit. Yeah, the work that they have put, not only this week, but throughout the start of the regular season. You can tell that they do believe the system that Paulo Nagamura has in place.
You could tell just the pace of this first half, and the even play in general. But these are two teams we mentioned a little bit earlier, but just you can tell this is a different St. Louis FC team from last week. You could tell they've had the week's worth of rest.
Yeah, well, you know, that's interesting as well. We were talking with Coach Tritzschild about that during the week and how things are looking for them physically after 7 to 8 matches. Remember that the regular season started and they didn't have a full preseason, right, after a 3.5-month break. So, you know, players are adjusting as we move on in the regular season.
2 minutes of added time.
Stoppage time is presented by Paycor. Need more time in your business? Contact Paycor to handle your payroll and human resources needs. 2 minutes of stoppage time in the first half. Montpremier tees it up. Morton's not happy about something. That was Ferdinand, actually, excuse me.
Yeah, we haven't seen much from Montpremier. That was a good opportunity, you know. Just, it's interesting when you see a team like Sporting Kansas City hold on to the ball so much that it surprises you sometimes when they take this type of shots from outside the box, because that's just not the concept that you're used to watching from them. But it's important for Sporting Kansas City to take this type of chances, just to, you know, try to surprise a little bit the opponent.
Recitar with some frustration. Not sure what that was about.
I don't think this is something that we need in the game, Josh. I mean, either way, right? I think the level of play has been good. Let's concentrate on that.
Agreed.
Stay away from fighting and, you know, anything like that. It's unnecessary.
A clear foul. I'm not sure what the retaliation there was for from Recitar. Anyways, we're back. 1-1 our score. Closing in on the end of the first half. You see the rain coming down as well. We had a weather delay due to lightning earlier in the night. Rain starting to come down heavy though as Montpremier chases it down in the corner and then takes a spill. He's holding his right ankle, and that's how the first half ends. Hope Ferdinand Montpremier is okay after this.
Yeah, it looked like he slipped in the end, looking for that maul.
There's the first
West
goal
Community
scorer for St.
Stadium
Louis
is
FC.
offering a
as we get
variety
look.
of food and beverage
Oh,
options
boy.
at tonight's
Took
match.
his ankle.
Visit the full-service concession stand on the west side of the stadium.
He's still slow to get
Beer
out.
options are available at that stand, and the Budweiser beer garden
hope he's
at the
okay. Here's
southwest
the
corner of the stadium.
Cicerone
And the
goal that got
plastic
us
top
going in
corner
the early
under
going.
scoreboard. If you're looking for St. Louis FC gear, the soccer
Later on in the
fan
first
shop is
half,
located at the
Cicerone
south
again
end of
with the
west side
chance. He's been one of the better players
and
on
will
the
be
pitch
open
tonight.
throughout the duration.
For St. Louis FC, Morton a save. And then here's the game tire. Christian Duke, we're 1-1 at the half.
When you need quality electrical work for your home or business, look to the electricalconnection.org. Created as a partnership between IBEW Local 1 electricians and the St. Louis chapter of the National Electrical Contractors Association, the Electrical Connection has been setting the standard for electrical excellence in St. Louis for over 100 years. You can depend on our highly skilled and trained workforce, your #1 source for quality electrical and communication contractors, electricalconnection.org.
That's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on your dreams. And if I didn't think it was worth one try, I'd jump right on a big bird and then I'd fly.
When facing a divorce or other family law matter, you may feel lost and betrayed by those you loved. Although you may feel alone, it's important to have hope. At Stange Law Firm, we limit our practice to family law matters because we understand that nothing is more important than your family. We are there when you need us most. No matter the family law issue, we are here to help you rebuild your life.
Welcome back to Fenton, Missouri. St. Louis FC sporting KC2. Knotted up at 1 at the break. Our halftime is presented by Electrical Connection. Josh Appel, Jose Rodriguez with you. An all-important game in the Group E standings. Sporting KC2 with a win tonight. Pulls into a tie for second with St. Louis FC, and it will likely be a three-way tie as Lou City looks to be on their way to 3 points tonight as well. Let's take a look at our news of the week.
This is our city. Our city stretches from Old North to South Grand. Our city is east of the river and west of 270. Our city is the heart of Midtown and historic downtowns. U-City and Town and Country, Belleville and Oakville. Our city is north, south, east, west, standing up for one another, the spirit of a new St. Louis. We are St. Louis City SC. This is our crest. This is our home. This is our city.
Coming in 2023, St. Louis City SC. How about those colors? How about that shield, Jose? What do you think?
It's looking good. I like it a lot, you know, and I like, as a soccer fan, I like to see this. I like to see because this is the result of the effort within the community, within the owners. This is something that really helps the soccer, as the football or soccer, however you want to call it, in the United States, and I like to see this more often, right?
Absolutely, and you look at just where the MLS is expanding to already. It's been great to see in St. Louis now. Up next. So this St. Louis team battling for second place in Group E. Here's the road ahead. At Pittsburgh on the 22nd next week, and then 3 more matchups in Group E. as we get into September?
Well, it's tricky because you get out of the group, out of Group E, and you're looking, okay, I'm going to find some other team to play, and then guess what? It's the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. It doesn't get any easier than that.
Some of these fans still wearing their masks and braving out the weather. It's 1-1 from Fenton at the break.
The USL is proud to bring professional soccer back into our communities and across the ESPN family of networks. Follow your local club and don't miss these exciting matches coming up on ESPN2 or ESPN Deportes.
Dr. George Champus from Northwestern and U.S. Soccer's Chief Medical Officer joins me. The protocols that were created in the case of the USL Championship and USL League One takes well over 50 pages to document. Describe the USL Championship's particular return to play and the role that you played in helping to craft those guidelines.
Yeah, obviously the credit goes to USL. The credit goes to USL, their owners, all the staff, really putting in the work, getting on calls multiple times a week with other leagues, but also recognizing that all the leagues can't be the same. And all recognizing that the elements are different for each of them. And I think it's important to touch on that because it's important for us to be able to create a mitigation strategy, layers of protection that our players are comfortable with, that our public are comfortable with, while respecting the virus. So USL has done a tremendous job. They've invested a lot of time and energy consulting with others to be able to put this forth. Hopefully I was a conduit and someone who provided, that medical expertise and brought everybody together. And if we can all come out of this safe and be able to show a model, not only for sport, but for public, that would be a great outcome.
1-1 our score here in Fenton. You see the weather and you see the lightning off in the distance. We'll take a look at our news and notes and keep an eye on the weather as well. News and notes from around the league. Back in charge, Paul Daglish resumes duties as head coach of Miami FC. Tyler Pasher claims Player of the Month honors. Martin Rennie named Coach of the Month. And our Player of the Week, Junior Flemings, after his hat trick against New Mexico. The second hat trick this year in USL.
Well, it's really early in the season, even though we're in the middle of August, but it's surprising that Miami FC decided to make the change. Nelson Vargas was in charge early on. Now Paul Daglish, we'll see how it goes. And of course, Indy, we have been talking a little about Indy 11 awards, well deserved.
Take a look at our national schedule in USL Championship. Sunday on ESPN Plus, Miami FC, Tampa Bay Rowdies, Florida matchup there, Loudoun United, and the next opponent for St. Louis, Pittsburgh Riverhounds. That's on Wednesday on ESPN Plus. And Wednesday as well, big Group E matchup, Louisville City and Sporting KC2. Scores from around the league today. Charlotte Independence, a high-scoring affair, a win against Memphis 901 FC. You see the final with Indy, a 1-0 win, and Lou City FC 2 on their way to 3 points as well. Hartford Athletic, a win over New York Red Bulls. Charleston Battery 2-2 in the second half. Birmingham Legion up 2-0 on NCFC.
Yeah, it's really interesting what we have seen this year from Charleston and Atlanta United 2. Usually Atlanta United 2, a little bit of similarity with Sporting Kansas City 2. This year we have seen progress from the young guys and they're getting results. This time a 2-0 with Charleston.
1-1 at halftime. You see the rain. We saw some lightning in the distance. We hope we'll be able to start on time in the second half. Stay tuned for more after this. St. Louis Sporting KC 2 tied at 1.
Do you think he's ready for a debit card?
Mm-hmm.
He's on a roll.
Mm-hmm.
The Greenlight app and debit card makes it easy to manage your kids' money and brings you peace of mind.
He has to do it.
Mm-hmm.
With Greenlight, kids form smart money habits that prepare them for their futures.
Did you know about this?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Greenlight, all the tools you need to raise financially smart kids.
When you need quality electrical work for your home or business, look to the electricalconnection.org. Created as a partnership between IBEW Local 1 electricians and the St. Louis chapter of the National Electrical Contractors Association, the Electrical Connection has been setting the standard for electrical excellence in St. Louis for over 100 years. You can depend on our highly skilled and trained workforce, your number one source for quality electrical and communication contractors, electricalconnection.org.
We have some good news and we have some bad news. The good news is the first half was a very entertaining affair. We ended the first half with a 1-1 score. The bad news, you can see weather coming down hard, some lightning in the distance, and we are under our second weather delay of the night. Jose, what do you think of that first half, and how do these teams deal with another weather delay?
Well, it was a good half, like you mentioned, and now with the weather delay, it comes down to how long it is and how players can stay in the game, and it's all about the coaches as well. How do you talk to your players? At what point do you feel like, it's time to get back into warming up? It's going to be interesting. We'll be back.
So check back with us. We're in a weather delay right now at halftime in Fenton, Missouri. St. Louis FC sporting KC2 knotted up at 1. Stay tuned for updates. We are in another weather delay. our score. To Fenton, Missouri, West Community Field, 1-1 our score at halftime. St. Louis FC Sporting KC 2. Thanks so much for sticking with us through our second weather delay of the night. First one happened before kickoff. We were supposed to get underway at 8 o'clock. We kicked off around 8:45. And it's been a stretched out halftime, to say the least, because of this weather delay. But we are back here in this all-important Group E matchup between St. Louis and Sporting KC 2. A huge 3 points on the line. Josh Appel, Jose Rodriguez with you. Jose, let's take a look at how we got to this point. 1-1 in the first half.
Yeah, it was a good half. First 45 minutes of the match, they were pretty interesting. A good start for St. Louis. A couple of chances early on.
Trying to work around Riley.
A matchup that we saw throughout the first 45 minutes with Parrish coming on the left side, but the shot from Cicerone, after that, a beautiful turn. A wonderful shot, right-footed shot, go past the young goalkeeper Krenecki. Talk about the start of your pro career for Krenecki, right? With a whole bunch of weather delays. But towards the end of the first 45 minutes, it was Daly on the right side, finding space, and finding Christian Duke as well near the penalty spot with the left-footed shot for the 1-1.
You could see how frustrated Kyle Morton was at the end of that play, but it was beautifully done by Camden Riley, who was all over the pitch tonight for Sporting KC2. Here's our match stats in the first half. Possession about even. Shots 7-4 in favor of St. Louis, but 2-1 on target. We saw Cicerone score the goal. That was one of 3 golden chances he had in that first half. He left more out there, and we'll see in the second half if St. Louis is able to recapture some of that offensive prowess they showed in the first half and finish on some of these chances, which is something Steve Tritchu has really been preaching and wanting to see from this team. Only 1 point over the last 3 home matches.
Yeah, we'll see how the delay affects either team. You would think St. Louis, because of the experience they have in the roster, most of their players have been through something like this before. On the other hand, Sporting Kansas City 2, we already talked about the goalkeeper Krenecki playing his first match. You know, this is something that he's going to have to adjust really quickly.
So what do you want to see from both teams in the second half? What adjustments from both in a fairly even first 45 minutes?
Well, you know, I don't know if they have to adjust that much. Maybe just try to keep the momentum going, because they had a good first half, both teams. Maybe if you're St. Louis, you want to see that possession number, the percentage, go a little bit higher, right? Especially when you're playing at home.
No substitutions for either side, and so we are finally ready for second half action here from
ready.
West Community Stadium. There you get a look at the 17-year-old Gavin Krenecki between the pipes. First professional start in the career for the 17-year-old, and he was tested early on, as not seen much action in front of him since the first 10 or 15 minutes or so of this match, but when tested since then, he's come up when he's had to. Cicerone gets us underway, and a nice round of applause from the crowd that has stuck around in West Community Stadium for the resumption here in the second half. Big 3 points on the line, and that's putting it lightly. Lou City and Indy 11 both won earlier tonight. No foul there, they play on. Steve Tritchu not happy about it. I'm surprised there wasn't a call there. It almost looked like they were going to make one.
Yep, I agree.
Here's a turnover. Wharton along the touch line. And that one's sent to nobody and cleared away momentarily. G got a piece of that. A throw-in upcoming for Sporting KC2.
You know, that was an interesting play, because it's borderline whether it was inside or outside the box. If it's inside the box, then that's a penalty, and that can certainly change things.
No question.
Early in the second half.
This is Kuich with Riley exchanging. And another throw-in upcoming for Sporting KC2. But first, they have to find a ball.
Yep. In the meantime, I want to give credit to the fans. They were able to, you know, withstand the rain delay, and look at them. They're ready to roll as well.
Still out here in their masks. Great support group here for St. Louis FC.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really glad they get to go back into, you know, supporting your team on the field. I'm sure there are plenty of people watching, but to be in the stands, it's without a doubt a different feeling. And when you get a rain delay, it doesn't matter.
How much does the rain affect an artificial turf surface like this?
Well, I think it depends, right? Because it looks like it's holding up pretty well right now. We haven't seen much water, but the thing for both teams right now, it's not mainly about the turf, but about you know, the momentum coming into the half. How aggressive are you going to be early on?
By the way, that's Montpremier, who just had the touch. Great to see him back on the field after that ankle injury. It looked like he twisted it on top of the ball as he slipped down in the left corner right as the half ended. So good to see him back out there to start the second for Sporting KC2. Never want to see a player go down in that scenario. Like
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And the good thing is that with the delay, they had a chance to look at him closely.
Brian, the header. Oh, what a save! Greg was robbed by the 17-year-old.
Wonderful save. A good cross as well from Brian coming on the right side. Everything was done well in the play. Craig as well with the header. But in the end, it's John Krenecki who ends up with the ball.
That was a beautiful save from the 17-year-old, making his first pro start on one of the top goal scorers in USL Championship history. More Sam. Dispossessed. Wharton in the middle, gives to Wall Fall. Deliberate to the near side for Brian. Montpremier is right on him. Fink. Sporting KC2 comes away with the road 3 points tonight. We will have a three-way tie for second place in Group E. Wilson Harris battling. And it's Sam Fink who wins that one-on-one tussle.
Well, interesting dynamic early on because it's St. Louis with possession, and then it's Sporting Kansas City trying to take advantage of the counter-attack opportunities. This is the first one of the match. We saw Harris all by himself. I don't know if that's the way you want to go if you're Sporting Kansas City too. I don't think Harris is strong enough to move past Fink. So, you know, try a little bit to hold on to the ball if you're Sporting Kansas City too, and do it the right way, the way how you know how to do it, with the build-up, moving the ball from side to side.
Nice idea into the middle there, but Montpremier had to make sure that wasn't a turnover. LaFleur. Again, keep those dodgeball references to yourself. Yeah, I'm holding back every instinct to drop a LaFleur. But LaFleur will leave it. Sporting KC2, this will be a corner. Recitar will take it. Low and short and headed away nicely.
Set pieces, of course, a big part of the game, especially when you're playing on the road. And if you're Sporting Kansas City too, and you're going to be playing most of the games during the regular season on the road, you want to take advantage of those set piece opportunities.
Greg whistled for the foul. There's Christian Duke, the captain. He's the goal scorer tonight for Sporting KC2. It was his first of the year on the beautiful feed across from Camden Riley. LaFleur and Recitar. It's LaFleur. Some ducking, some diving, some dipping, and some dodging there. Here's a counter for St. Louis FC. As Rad able to chase it down, it evaporated quickly.
Good recovery defensively from Sporting Kansas City too. You know, collectively, the effort so far for Sporting Kansas City, it has been really good. But the consistency sometimes, it's tough for a young team. We'll see how they can hold on moving forward in the match.
Duke, the goal scorer, sends to the far side. Montpremier keeps it in. Fredinho Montpremier. Into the middle, Kuich. For Riley. Jake Davis. Barbier. Or Fredinho Montpremier again. Slides it through. Harris. Nice play by Kavita to thwart the shot, but the chance does create a corner for Sporting KC2.
It's a good read from Kavita and a shown of respect as well for Harris, because he doesn't give him any room at all. He didn't have the angle to take the shot, but either way, Kavita was ready for it.
This one to the far post. Misplayed for a moment by G. Harris over there, and it's a goal kick. So the previous corner they went to the near post, didn't work out. Now they go to the far post, and that doesn't work out either. So we stay 1-1. It'll be a goal kick for Morton. Las Vegas takes center stage August 25th when Lights FC takes on Orange County SC on ESPN Deportes. Looking to maintain the pace set in Group B, both Las Vegas Lights FC and Orange County SC face a must-win on the national stage. Don't miss the drama unfold August 25th at 10 p.m. on ESPN Deportes. Bryant with some speed and some space sends one in just wide. He had Cicerone and Gregg sprinting towards the far post. We'll take another look at this missed chance.
Look, we talked about Riley a lot in the first half and how he was able to move back and forth on the right side. Let's talk a little bit about Richard Bryant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give him some credit. What a game he's having, especially in the second half, being aggressive on the right side. Good ball there, but unfortunately, you know, none of his teammates, they were able to get that last touch. That's a good ball because you only have to touch it once and push it to the back of the net.
Barbier with a lot of room. Into the middle for Fredinho, battling with Bryan, and then he turns it over. Looked like a handball, but Wallfall keeps it going. Puts on the brakes, leaves it for Wharton, trying to chase it down against Barbier. Back heel flip. And Sporting KC2 able to gain possession. Riley, who assisted the only goal for Sporting KC tonight. He's been all over the place and a catalyst both ways. LaFleur. Big save early in the half by Krenecki, keeping this game tied at 1. A header from Kyle Gregg in the opening minutes of the second half. We had just gotten done talking about how Krenecki hadn't been tested all that much since the early minutes of the first half. And you always wonder how a goalkeeper is going to react when, number one, they weren't really tested much during the pace of play, but then you have that long layoff at the half. How's he going to come out and respond? And right away, he makes a huge save.
Yeah, you know, the level of concentration was there. You have to stay in the game. It doesn't matter how long you have of a delay. You have to stay in the game. You have to keep your head in the game, and that's exactly what happened for Gavin Krenecki. And it's good to see. It's good to see from a young player.
Fall. Almost lost it. Keeps it alive. for Greg. And then he turned it over, looking for Cicerone. Davis. Here's a race for it. Recitar wins it with G. Davis back into the middle. Kuich. Back for Barbier. Cicerone, the goal scorer for St. Louis. Duke, the goal scorer for Sporting KC2. Davis couldn't catch up to it. It's a goal kick for Morton.
Yeah, but either way, this is the way to go for Sporting Kansas City too. We saw a few minutes ago how looking for the long ball and putting Harris into the 1v1 with Fink, it's troubling for him. But if you hold on to the ball and you wait for your teammates to come close to you, try to make a combination inside the box or near the box to get an opportunity to get the shot on goal, that's the style of play that works for Sporting Kansas City too.
Morton. Now Sam chasing it down. Sam goes around LaFleur. And then LaFleur recovers beautifully.
Beautiful, you're absolutely right.
Oh, nice move there by Fredinho Momprenier. And a long ball out of reach for Wilson Harris. Sam gets around LaFleur here, and the youngster LaFleur does a nice job.
You know how easy it is to push LaFleur or to push the opponent at that point in the field, and just like that, you give a penalty away. But to have that composure, to trust that you can recover that ball, it's outstanding.
LaFleur, 17 years old.
Yeah.
One of a few teenagers on the pitch tonight. Rad, Krenecki, Davis, and LaFleur. Paris G with some space, making a run down the far side. G cuts it back. Here's a shot on, just wide. Right idea for St. Louis FC. But again, they can't finish on an opportunity.
Yeah, once again, very good from G on the left side. Cuts inside as soon as he sees there's not an opportunity inside the box. Moves back, passes the ball to Omar, and then the right-footed shot that goes just wide.
As you said, it was Oscar Umar who had the opportunity. Umar still looking for his first goal of this season. Do you have a solid game plan for your financial future? At Edward Jones, they craft investment strategies that are as individual as you are. 60th minute, 1-1 your score. Big 3 points on the line, although if you're St. Louis FC, you'll take the 1 point because that keeps you in second place in the division regardless.
Yes, which is very interesting because they are playing at home and they are coming off 3 matches that, out of 9 points, they were able to get 1. But the reality is that in a group stage, you go game by game.
Right.
And that's a reality for them tonight. A point is not as bad as it looks.
Make no mistake, though. They want the 3.
Oh, absolutely. They're going for 3 points.
Especially with, how Coach Steve Tritchu has said they feel like they deserve more from the last few. Feel like he might feel the same way tonight, regardless of the result.
Yeah, and listen, you never know. You never know what could happen as soon as you get to the playoffs. Look at what happened last year in USL Championship with Real Monarchs.
Right.
They were not the favorites, but in a single elimination game,
just get in.
You get in. That's the way it is. Everybody would have thought that Phoenix Rising last year would have been the champion, and yet
every single person you asked would have said the same. Yeah.
And yet it was Real Monarchs. They were good one night. They were able to overcome Phoenix, and on they went to the championship.
Bryan making another run. Fumbling around with it with Montprenier, who slipped and gave it away momentarily to Sam, who then goes down, and that's a foul. I think it's humid out here tonight in Fenton. Forget the rain.
Yeah.
Don't forget that you can continue to drink responsibly with Heineken 0.0. Great taste, zero alcohol.
St. Louis FC scored the first goal in the opening minutes. Russell Cicerone, it's exactly what Steve Tritcher said. As you see, there was a card issued to Isaiah LaFleur. Steve Tritcher thought coming into this game, if they could just get that first goal at home, it would relax and open up a lot of things for this club. And for a while it did, but then Sporting KC was able to equalize. Christian Duke, the captain, in the later stages of the first half on a feed from Camden Riley, and we stay at 1-1 in the 63rd minute as Wharton gets set. Here it comes. Sails over everybody. Kavita trying to chase it down into the corner with Kuich on him. And it rolls out. That's a throw.
It was not a bad ball from Wharton, but it was hard for Fink, you know, to turn. It was a tough header to direct onto the goal. Either way, it was a good effort.
Sent in, and Krenecki able to gobble it up. Sam speeds into the middle, slides for Bryan, and then was looking for Greg, but they just weren't on the same page at that point. Wharton for Fink, who just plays it back for Kyle Morton, one of the best in USL.
We have seen Sam a little bit more aggressive in the second half, coming on the right side. It will be interesting to see if they can combine each other, talking about Sam and Bryan. Oh, careful.
Dangerous there. Sam slides it ahead for Bryan.
There we go.
Bryan leaves for Cicerone, puts one on, and a save made by Krenecki. 17-year-old does it again, cool and calm.
Yeah, this is a good ball to start from Bryan. And then very aggressive Cicerone. And that last bounce complicates things for goalkeeper usually, especially on a wet turf. A good job from Krenecki.
Whistle here and a foul. Wharton doesn't like the call.
Could have been a yellow.
"65 minutes gone by in this weather-delayed match between two teams fighting for second place in Group E. This is Harris. Fink just manhandles him off the ball. But Harris applying the pressure. Umar absorbs it and sends it down.
Yeah, you kind of have to give credit to Harris because he's not giving up. He hasn't been able to win the 1v1 battle with Fink or Kavita, but he's not giving up.
Shouldn't expect him to either. He knows what's at stake here on the road. Headed out by Sporting KC 2. Another throw in for St. Louis. Looking for that go-ahead goal at home. Fink. For Bryan, back to Fink. Cicerone went down, and they call the foul. Davis and Kuich in the area.
Yeah, it's an opportunity now for St. Louis. It's Cicerone again. He moves past the 3 defenders, but not without a foul. Starting to see some tired legs on Sporting Kansas City too. You know, that's something that Nagamura is going to have to start thinking about, maybe looking at substitutes. Now, remember, he has 5 available now.
And remember, this is also a team that's had the last 10 days off. St. Louis had the last week off. Kavita! Riley able to head that out of harm's way. For now, it'll be a corner.
Yeah, let me tell you, there was a little bit of contact there. Here's a look. Let's see. Oh, yes, there's a hold from Harris. Should have been a penalty, but either way, a good effort from Kavita, fighting for that ball and not just waiting for the call. Because if you do that, you don't get a corner kick.
Here comes the corner from Wharton towards the back post, over the head of everybody. Paris G sends it back in over the head of Fink and rolls out. Fans, follow your team and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the nearly 8 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. And Sam puts St. Louis FC on top. In the 69th minute, the home team back in control.
And we were just talking about it, how aggressive we have seen in the second half. More Sam. He gets that ball, gets inside the box, looks up, and takes the shot. Very well placed. And that's exactly what St. Louis needed, to take advantage of the mistakes in the middle of the field from Sporting KC2. And it's his first goal of the season for Sam.
Scored 8 last year with Ottawa Fury FC, and a hugely important goal to put his team up ahead 2-1 at home here in the second half.
You know, it's a game of mistakes, right?
100%.
Number 10, the assist to number 22, Kyle Drake.
Our first substitution of the night is brought to you by Cigna. Kuich comes out and Jahan Rad comes in. So he's on the pitch with his twin brother, Cave.
That's probably the first time I've seen something like that.
Twin brothers?
Twin brothers.
Both on the same team, playing in the same game?
Yes. They are both 19 years old, especially at that age, right? Later on, maybe.
Good genes.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Montprenier looking for the equalizer. Goes down. Duke then takes a hard hit from behind from Umar, and that's an obvious foul.
Yeah, and if you're Umar, I get it. You want to go and get that ball, but don't be overly aggressive. Don't create chances for the opponent, especially when you just scored a goal. You take the lead once again. Last 20 minutes of the match, it's about keeping the concentration as well, Josh. That's something that, you know, as an experienced team, it's unacceptable.
Sporting KC 2 looking for the equalizer for the second time tonight. Recitar and LaFleur stand over it. It's Recitar who takes it, a good ball. But St. Louis FC able to handle it for the moment. Duke. Recitar chasing it down by the goal line, sends it across, and Morton scoops it up.
Oh, it looks like Recitar had a little bit of time there just to stop and, you know, yeah, he had plenty of time, plenty of room inside the box. Oh, what a missed opportunity for Sporting Kansas City too. But let me tell you, once again, set pieces out of a foul from Umar. The set piece opportunity gave the visitors a chance.
G making a run. And some more pushing and shoving here. G and Camden Riley. Indirectly but directly getting into a little shoving match. LaFleur. Rad. To his twin. One wears 48, one wears 84. Oh, big collision in the box. Harris went down along with Fink. Oof. They each got a good piece of each other. We'll take another look.
Yeah, that's a 50-50 ball. And let me tell you, that's the way to go if you're Fink. Unfortunately, that's the way to go. You have to be aggressive coming into that ball. If not, it's not going to end in a good way.
You hope both are okay. Harris, the leading goal scorer for Sporting Kansas City 2. And Fink has been so great tonight on that back line. Made his presence known a few times.
Yeah, I think we talked a lot about Kavita, maybe because he scored the goal in the last matchup between these two teams. But I think Sam Fink, his quality for this team defensively, he's the one guy that, you know, can dictate the tempo defensively. And I think that combination between both Fink and Kavita is something that moving forward is going to help a lot Steve Tritschke.
Fink, his third season back with St. Louis FC. Started his USL career with St. Louis FC in 2015 before spending some time in OKC in 2017 and 2018. Last year co-led this team in goals. They hadn't scored yet this year, but again, he's making sure that Sporting KC 2 knows where he is every time they take the ball into the attacking end.
Especially Wilson Harris.
Yeah.
You know, it's been tough for Wilson.
Everybody's okay after that collision, it looks like. And it's a corner for Sporting KC 2 after all of that. LaFleur will take it. High into the air. Rad heads it down, but it's cleared away. Duke, the goal scorer for Sporting KC 2. Rad for Montpremier. St. Louis FC, I feel like, is content to let Sporting KC pass the ball around like this.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, they might get a little bit concerned if they don't get the ball in the next 5 to 10 minutes, just because they're going to be exhausted from running behind the ball. So they have to be at least a little bit better in terms of possession. But you're right. If you're moving the ball within your defenders, then there's not a real threat.
Right.
Leaving the game, number 34.
So earlier we talked about Dylan Cerna and his absence from the starting 11. Well, along with Jarrett Townsend, another Cigna substitution. Townsend comes on for Recitar. Isaiah LaFleur comes out, and Dylan Cerna, the veteran, enters on that back line to try and protect this 2-1, try and help overcome this 2-1 deficit. Another Cigna substitution.
Now with fresh legs, it's going to be interesting to see what the mentality is for Sporting Kansas City. How quickly can they adjust to the rhythm of play, and especially being a goal down. At this point for Sporting Kansas City too, at least you want to rescue a point.
Brad holds and leaves back for Barbier. And again, Steve Tritcher is probably willing and ready to give up this type of possession, as we just talked about, non-threatening areas. Obviously, you don't want to let it develop into anything. Player went down. Kavita taking it towards the corner. Battling with Townsend, who's just come on with some fresh legs. I wish in baseball, I wish like this, you can keep if it goes into the stands, you can keep it like in baseball, like a foul ball.
Well, we'll probably need something close to 20 to 30 balls per game.
78th minute. Fredinho leaves it for Cerna. His left-footed cross headed away nicely. It's Richard Bryan who cleared it. Excuse me, that was Fink, I should say. Fredinho, Montprenier dispossessed again along that sideline.
Yeah, for Sporting Kansas City too, you have to get creative right now in the middle of the field. Move around. Try to find some room. There you go. That's close. Let me tell you, that's close to a penalty.
Yeah, Duke went down just outside the 18. I won't repeat what Christian Duke just said, but you could tell it's frustration. Maybe that was.
Yeah, I agree with Christian Duke. Oh my goodness, that is so close.
And that's so close, and I'm not sure the referee had the angle in the first place.
Now remember, if it happened on the line, that's a penalty.
Right.
So
that's about as close as you could possibly get, I feel like.
Yeah, it's very close.
So Davis and Cerna standing over it. Huge opportunity in the 79th minute to tie it. Cerna blocked by the wall. Cerna with some space now. Just in off the bench. Flicks one on, Morton punches it out. Still alive though for the moment, and now cleared by St. Louis. Kept on this half of the field. Cerna moves in. Montprenier, his cross. Snuck through, and Sam, who right now has the go-ahead goal, gets it out of harm's way.
You know, I expected a little bit more from Dylan Cerna on that free kick, right? What an opportunity it was. And
don't even give your team a chance.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they're going to get another chance as good as that one, but if they don't, we're probably going to have to look back at this.
So our hydration break comes in the 80th minute. It'll be a sprint to the end after this. A 2-1 St. Louis FC lead over Sporting KC2. What's on the line? Well, as it stands right now, Lou City FC, with their win tonight, has pulled into a tie for second with St. Louis FC.
Right.
Indy 11 has also won tonight. They're 19 points up. They're 19 points. They're clear ahead in first place. Right now, it's the three-way battle for second. If Sporting KC can earn the point here, they won't pull into the tie, but for St. Louis FC's purposes, that gives them the point, puts them in sole possession of second place, above Lou City and Sporting KC. But St. Louis FC wants to get that 3 points here and hang on.
Yeah. Listen, they want to get the points, but I'm going to tell you something that maybe we haven't mentioned during the broadcast. Sporting Kansas City 2 and Louisville, they have a game in hand. So that plays a big factor.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a big game for both of them.
And, you know, they're only games in hand, and they only mean anything if you take advantage of them.
Right, yes.
Entering the game, number 11, Joaquin
Another
Rivas.
substitution brought to you by Cigna. Joaquin Rivas enters for the goal scorer, more Sam. Sam's goal in the 69th minute has St. Louis FC a little around 10 minutes away from 3 points at home, a crucial 3 points.
Yeah, and the message is clear from Steve Tritschke. By bringing Joaquin Rivas in the match, that means he wants to hold on to the ball a little bit more. Put pressure in the middle of the field and don't be overly aggressive trying to find that third goal. Honestly, right now, Josh, they need to hold on to the lead. That's the goal.
100%. We'll see how they do with that task. Montprenier had Townsend cutting, and G chases it down and clears. Barbier. Farad. That's just an unforced mistake by Sporting KC2. You have possession and you pass it to nobody and you lose possession here as time winds down. Score the winning goal at Maryville with personalized education, nationally ranked academics, and Division II athletics. Learn more at maryville.edu.maryville. Many connections, one you. 83rd minute. Cicerone went down, no call. Nice job by Kavita there, but it's a throw-in for Sporting KC. 2. Barbier. Cerna against Bryan into the corner. Low cross. Fink. He gets rid of it. Rivas working 1-on-2. Dispossessed. Montprenier weaves around Bryan. Slides down on the cross. Cerna keeps it alive and then lets it go out. Montprenier. Davis. Getting around the corner. Here's the cross. No blue shirts in the area. That's a foul on Jake Davis.
Yeah, that's fortunate for St. Louis because that gives them a little bit of time. You know, right now they have to step up their pressure. If they're going to be laying back, just waiting for Sporting Kansas City to bring the ball onto your side of the field, then you're asking for trouble. So step up a little bit of the pressure, recover the ball quickly, and just hold on to it. You know, just ice the game. You have 5 minutes left to go.
Keep an eye on how much stoppage time gets added as Morton sends it down. Last touch by Sporting KC2, and it's a throw-in for St. Louis FC. So 10 days ago when these two teams matched up, it was St. Louis FC who was down a goal in the late stages. And Kavita, the captain, ended up getting it tied on what ultimately became the last play of the game. So if we take one more look at the flashback here, the corner, the keeper got a hand on, or a piece of it, and then Kavita fired it to the back of the net for that draw last Wednesday. And now with the roles reversed, does Sporting KC have the late equalizer?
Well, we're going to have to wait and see, but let me tell you, that was in the 96th minute. So that tells you something. You have to wait until the last whistle. Why? Because you're fighting for a playoff spot. That's the reality of things for both of these teams right now.
Absolutely right, and Russell Cicerone, who scored the first goal, knows that. And that there is not necessarily a bad play. It kills some time.
Yeah.
And really right now, as we wind down, that's what St. Louis FC is content to do as we get ready to see another substitution. Jeremy Gagnon Lapare, a Canadian, comes in for the goal scorer in the opening minutes of the game, Russell Cicerone. Another substitution brought to you by Cigna.
Yeah, this is more a defensive-oriented substitution. Of course, Russell Cicerone coming out, one of the key players of the match for St. Louis. A very good game for him. Scored the first goal of the match. A beauty, thing of beauty. You'll probably see it all over social media. And with Gagnon Lapari coming into the match, you know, it's a little bit of the same thing with Rivas. Just hold on to the ball a little bit more. Fresh legs, you know, don't get surprised on the counterattack, and just get the 3 points.
87 minutes gone by. 2-1, St. Louis on top. Do they have the one that ices it? Oh, that was a heat seeker from Wall Fall.
It was so tempting for him to take that shot all by himself in front of goal. You know, he took his time. Unfortunately, the shot goes wide, but you cannot blame him, right? I mean, what an opportunity he
Absolutely.
had. Yeah.
Given the space, he took advantage of it. See how desperate Sporting KC2 is to get possession. They had 3 guys on Wall Fall just now. Brian, the header away, gets it back. Montprenier right behind him, takes him down, they play on. Trichu can't believe it. Neither can the fans. Brian is down behind the play. Effectively, St. Louis FC down a man at the moment as Brian jogs back into the play. 89th minute. Can Sporting KC2 find the equalizer? Rad. Cerna around Rivas, leaves it back. Sent into the box, back post. Montprenier can't keep it in, that's a goal kick.
Yeah, they have to move around a little bit if you're Sporting Kansas City too. It looks like, you know, when Dylan Cerna gets a touch on the ball, everybody's standing around him. You have to move around, try to find some room, get creative. That's what, you know, this young team is missing tonight, and it's a shame because the effort has been there, but, you know, you have to give credit as well to St. Louis. They have been good.
100%. This is exactly what Steve Trichu's team needed coming out of a week off. Important game at home. And for now, it looks like they're going to get what they wanted, although that was dangerous there. And they turn it over. Townsend, nice job by G to step in front. Riley got it back, and then Cerna. Montprenier lost it. The USL's elite pre-professional platform, USL Academy, allows clubs across the USL to build a pathway to pro soccer. Duke. So the USL Academy, as you can see up on the left, to find out more information. Sporting KC2 trying to make one final push. Cerna. Rivas cut in front, then went down. As you see, 6 minutes of stoppage time. Stoppage time is presented by Paycor. Need more time in your business? Contact Paycor to handle your payroll and human resource needs. As I was saying about the USL Academy, it's a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent. Following the success of the first Academy Cup events, clubs can now apply to participate in the USL Academy League, kicking off in spring 2021. For more information, visit usl-academy.com or search hashtag USL Academy on social media. Cerna. Davis for Riley. His cross. Duke. That was the connection that scored the first one. And it's a corner. I mean, look, it was 6 minutes of stoppage time last Wednesday.
I know where you're going.
When St. Louis FC tied it off a corner late in stoppage time. Tonight, 6 minutes of stoppage time. And here is Sporting KC2 with an opportunity with a late corner. Cerna takes it. It's low, and Rivas able to handle it for now. Nice move. All alone Rivas. He's onside. Joaquin Rivas. Cuts back, puts it on goal.
Beautiful.
Good night. Rivas flexes. St. Louis FC on its way to 3 points and a huge win in Group E.
And this is the Joaquin Rivas of all. This is the Joaquin Rivas that we have known from USL Championship. 2019 wasn't a good year for him. And tonight, he's that player that we loved and that got, you know, a very important call up to the Salvadorian national team. Plenty of quality, left-footed shot, moves past the defender. A wonderful run prior to that, moving all the way back from the defensive side of the field and then creating that combination to put the game away in the 93rd minute. His first goal of the year. Wonderful.
A lot of firsts tonight. Joaquin Rivas makes it 3-1 St. Louis FC. Maybe that'll get his season jump-started a bit. We saw more Sam get his first as the go-ahead goal as Guy Abend checks in for Wall Fall, another substitution brought to you by Cigna. And now you have Joaquin Rivas scoring his first of the year. And then on the other side, Christian Duke scored his first. So 3 of the 4 goal scorers tonight potting their first of 2020.
Rivas from Gagnon Lapare.
Gagnon Lapare picks up his first assist of the season as well. Montprenier lost it. Cerna puts it on off the post.
Good shot from Cerna. Oh, boy.
That's dangerous.
That's
especially at this
unnecessary.
juncture.
Yes.
And then Fink knocks him down. This could get ugly.
Well, you know, that's frustration. It's frustration on both sides.
Well, that was one of the twins. That was Jahan Rad, and you see his twin Cave come on and try and defend him.
Yeah, it's frustration from the young player, and then, you know, as an experienced player, you're not going to accept that from anybody. It doesn't matter if you're 19 years old or 35 years old. You cannot accept that. A challenge like that one, it's
late.
risky.
It was
late.
not in this juncture of the game. 2 goal. It's just not necessary. So here's the shot. Cerna off the post. And then here's what happened after. I mean, that's just dangerous. And then the stare down after.
Yeah.
And you can't blame Sam Fink. Maybe that's a little over the top, but you can't fault Sam Fink for coming in and defending his teammate like that.
Let me tell you, I've seen worse.
And he gets a red card.
Yes, I think that's a good call.
As do I.
Yeah. The referee took his time. I think it was pretty much set in the decision, but, you know, he didn't want to show the red card and then start another problem in the middle of another one. But, you know, this is something that he's going to learn from, and I'm sure Paulo Nagamura is going to talk to him tonight. That is not acceptable.
Good job by the referee to handle it the right way. I mean, that's the only way that you handle that. It was late, it was dangerous, and I think obviously that's the right decision. And you just hate to see that in general. In this juncture of a game that's essentially decided. Everybody's been here for a while. 2 long weather delays. It's just unnecessary.
And it's a little bit surprising as well because I think the match has been played well.
Yeah,
it has been clean.
I'm with you on that.
It should be a yellow.
Rivas gets booked with the yellow. A lot of speed on the far side for Riley against Kavita.
A yellow card caution has been issued to St. Louis FC's number 11.
And you know, the thing to keep an eye on is obviously this is not the last time these two teams will
Oh,
play.
yes.
They have 2 more matchups. You got to wonder if there may be any carryover, if it'll add some extra juice given the already high stakes. Turnaround shot, not enough on it from Wilson Harris, and Morton makes the diving save. Expecting the final whistle at any moment here.
And as a matter of fact, they will be facing each other on September 4th. So just a few weeks from now.
Gosh, almost September already.
Yes.
And there's the final whistle. A hard-fought 3-1 victory for the home side, St. Louis FC. They take down Sporting KC 2-3-1 and earn a vital 3 points in Group E to remain in second place.
Yeah, the big thing for St. Louis tonight is that they were able to score, to get on the board. Their previous 3 matches, 1 goal, that's not good enough. Tonight, you know, it was a good team effort that led them to 3 goals and 3 points that are, without a doubt, very, very important in terms of the standings in Group E.
We'll come back and wrap everything up for you. Full match stats and highlights coming up after this. St. Louis FC victorious 3-1.
So how is it?
Great.
Do you think he's ready for a debit card?
Mm-hmm.
He's on a roll.
Mm-hmm.
The Greenlight app and debit card makes it easy to manage your kids' money and brings you peace of mind.
He has to do it.
Mm-hmm.
With Greenlight, kids form smart money habits that prepare them for their futures.
Did you know about this?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Greenlight, all the tools you need to raise financially smart kids.
Edward Jones presents tonight's final score. St. Louis FC 3, Sporting KC 2-1. A hard-fought home 3 points for St. Louis FC. They get off the schneid, winless in their previous 3. They get the 3 points tonight. They remain in second place in Group E behind Indy 11. Let's take a look at tonight's highlights. Lots to get to from tonight's match. It started early on. Russell Cicerone getting St. Louis FC on the board first. Steve Tritcher said he wanted his team to get that first goal, open them up a little bit, and it doesn't get much prettier than that.
Yes, they were able to do so with a wonderful shot from Cicerone, the assist from Wolfall, his second assist of the year. But for Cicerone, very important for him to get on the board, to get that confidence back up. And, you know, it was a good start. But Sporting Kansas City came back with a goal from Christian Duke, the assist from Riley, a good ball from the right side, plenty of space as well for Riley. Good combination overall. And then the rain delay.
Yeah, we had 2 delays today. One that forced the opening kickoff back 45 minutes, and then early after another 45-minute delay to start the second half, the 17-year-old making his first start, Granecki, with a huge save, one of the most prolific goal scorers in USL history. But then it was Brian sending one in just past Greg. Cicerone was trailing as well. More Sam. In a moment we'll see he put the go-ahead goal behind Granecki. Umar had a nice chance set up from Paris G, who had another strong game on the outside. Here's Cicerone putting one on, another chance. He was all over the place tonight. Brian with some nice feeds as well, setting up some chances.
I think we called it early on, Josh, with Cicerone. You could tell he was having a good game early on. And then towards the end, in the second half, here's a little bit of a hole there.
We thought maybe should have been a penalty there.
Should have been a penalty, but you got to give credit as well to Kavita to still go and fight for that ball. And then, you know, it's all about the pace sometimes, and this is the key factor in this play for the goal from Moore Sam. The assist goes to Kyle Gregg, and in the end, one of the beautiful things of the game so far for me, it has been how the substitutes have been able to adjust. Even though we have 5 now for every game, they have been able to find a way to contribute, and that's exactly what Joaquin Rivas did.
Yeah, Rivas put this one away. Left no doubt his first of the year, as it was Sam's as well. So here are our match stats. Possession more in favor of Sporting KC2, but that's a lot of what we saw towards the end, a lot of possession in non-threatening areas. Shots on target in favor of St. Louis FC as our total shots. We saw the red card at the end issued to Rad after the late tackle. But those are your full-time match stats, and a huge 3 points tonight for St. Louis FC as we get to our man of the match presented by Pleats Cleaners. It's Russell Cicerone. Had a ton of opportunities tonight, including the first goal of the match. He sent this one off the crossbar, and then a moment later followed it up with his beauty in the top right corner. And follow St. Louis FC on Twitter to vote in the Pleats Man of the Match fan poll for all future games. Russell Cicerone is tonight's Pleats Man of the Match.
And without a doubt, if you're Steve Tritchu, you like what you saw from Cicerone tonight, but you want to keep it going. You want to keep it going because you add Tyler Blackwood to the mix, and you have a very competitive team offensively.
On the road at Pittsburgh Riverhounds next. They hope to get Toby Adewale back. On the back line does St. Louis FC. For Jose Rodriguez and our entire crew here from Fenton, Missouri West Community Stadium, thanks so much for joining us tonight. This is Josh Appel saying so long. We'll talk to you next time. Our final score, St. Louis FC 3, Sporting KC 1. St. Louis FC remains in second place in Group E behind Indy 11. A huge 3 points captured at home tonight by Steve Tritchu's club. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll talk to you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.